Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This is not our regular radio, TV broadcast time. We're normally live 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. But at approximately 9:55 in the morning on the 18th of February 2010 here in Austin, Texas, the home of our operations in the capital city of the great state of Texas, a small single-engine plane slammed into one of the buildings at the Echelon building complex. There's 4 buildings. The FBI, the IRS, the CIA, all reportedly have offices in those buildings. And a good hour before the mainstream media began saying this may have been a terrorist attack or a criminal act, I just simply said, look, this is a government complex, a private office complex mainly filled with government offices, similar to Building 7 on 9/11 8+ years ago. It was a private building, but it had the FBI, CIA, Defense Intelligence in it. And I said, because it is a government-filled installation, that ups the chances that this is a attack of some type. And I said, it could be, I said this in the first hour, it's on record, the 18th of February 2010. And I noticed we got some emails and I saw some stories with people making fun of us, saying, oh, there's Alex Jones again, saying it could be a terror attack and saying it could be a false flag. And I said 50-50 chance that if this is some type of deliberate event, that it's either some disgruntled person or it's staged. Now, I said that the first live show we did after Christmas. Christmas was on a Friday. I do the Sunday show. The 27th of December, I went live on air. And I said, if we find out he bypassed security, someone helped him get on the plane, if we find out there were people on the plane with him, if we find things like that out, this is probably an inside job. Then they simultaneously on Christmas started promoting the naked body scanners that they'd already ordered a year before that were set to go in January a few weeks later, 2010. This is late 2009. And since then, it's come out that it's a complete false flag. Completely. An absolute, total inside operation. The Detroit News, terror suspect kept visa to avoid tipping off larger investigation. Kennedy, the Undersecretary for Management of the State Department, said an unnamed U.S. intelligence agency told them to let him get on the plane without a passport, without a visa. But that wasn't enough. They had to have the smart-dressed man lead him through security, past the naked body scanners that Amsterdam already had to get him on the plane. Then somebody from 4 rows back is videotaping him throughout the entire 16-hour flight from Europe to Michigan. Then the eyewitnesses said once they got him in customs, the bomb-sniffing dog ran over to another man, a black man's bag. They said, oh, there's a bomb, get out of here. Then the FBI lied and said there was no smart-dressed man. Nobody helped him get on the plane. There was nobody videotaping him, and no one else was arrested once we landed. Turned out that was all lies on record. Now, I'm just giving you a little bit of background from one case before I get into all the new big developments. I told you when the show ended at 3 that we wouldn't be back live until tomorrow unless there were big developments. There have been gigantic developments in the attack in Austin. And I'm going to go over those in a moment. We have been to the guy's house. We've been to his neighbors. I sent Rob Dew and Jason Douglas. They're going to be in studio with us coming up in 30 minutes. I have talked to people I know in Austin that live in apartments nearby. They saw individuals from the FBI out there within seconds. They heard the boom. We have multiple witnesses by name. I've talked to them on and off air. They were out there with video cameras filming everything within seconds. By the time they got to their windows to see the boom, the FBI was outside with cameras. They went down and talked to him, and they said, we are the terror response team. Local Austin news. In fact, that's in Paul Watson's article. Pull that video up, too. It's up on YouTube. Source, FBI knew Austin attack was coming. That's the breaking news coming up. But in there, Paul has the link to the YouTube of KXAN, that's NBC in Austin. A separate witness told KXAN that there were hazmat teams and fire trucks in place across the street before the plane struck the building. This is all coming up. Now, let's go back to the start of the show today at 11 a.m. I come on and I say, I hope it's somebody that had a heart attack and fell on the stick, but witnesses said the plane came low at about 150 feet, accelerated, and went down perfectly into the building. And then I went back to yesterday's show where we had from a high-level source who was with Rick Perry in a meeting that they're worried about states' rights, and Deborah Medina, Alex Jones, Ron Paul, that we've got to be dealt with. You've seen the dirty tricks against Deborah Medina. Glenn Beck was doing it again today. Because if she wins, it sends shockwaves across the country. The states stand up. When did the feds bomb Oklahoma City? And that's a proven case. They bombed it when Oklahoma and Colorado were leading the charge with over 20 other states to declare 10th Amendment powers and say, we're not under federal control. Stop your unconstitutional taxation and control. That's happening again. Every time this happens, the government stages bombings, mass shootings, and terror attacks to demonize their opposition. Now, what did I say at the start of the show? I said, if it turns out that this is a terror attack or deliberate event, they're going to say it's a Tea Party person. I said back on December 8th, December 9th, and on multiple occasions since then, and we're digging through all the videos. We don't just mark down these predictions. They just come out of me from all my research. Well, I'm asking listeners to go through our YouTube channel, the audio's posted everywhere, help us. We don't have the staff. I don't even have the staff to go back to the first hour of my TV show and radio show today and get the audio of where in the first hour I said, this is probably going to end up being a so-called Tea Party person. How do I know this? Because I saw the preparatory conditioning on Chris Matthews Slimeball, Beck the Ninny, and all the other shows saying 9/11 truthers, and it changed in the last week, not just 9/11 truthers. 9/11 truthers have infiltrated the Tea Party. They've got to be dealt with. They've got to be taken out. They want to kill the president. They want to stage terror attacks. Mark my words. Beck said, many others, as a talking point. I saw it simultaneously on other channels. Out of nowhere. Made no sense. Unless you understand. Then I saw him in the last 2 days, we posted these videos, start saying and putting Deborah Medina up on the chalkboard and next to terrorist and saying next to weathermen bombers. And now he put up Phil Berg. I want to get Phil Berg on the next few days. I'm meaning to do that. Write a note. And putting him up there with him and saying the birthers are dangerous and want violence. Tonight, I wasn't even intending to tune in. We had it on Fox. There he was saying the number one threat is the birthers. Over half of Republicans in polls question Obama's birth certificate because he did have the name Barra-Citaro. People are now learning this. He did have another fake name. He did go to these mosques. He did get raised in Islamic schools. I mean, you know, the point is there's something going on here. Where does Beck get it that they're going to be violent? I saw him tonight say, and I watched 5 minutes of it. It was an hour show. I was busy on the phone with witnesses and guys bringing in video from going to the supposed kamikaze attacker's house who supposedly attacked Austin. I mean, it's like a war room in here. And there's Beck on the TV in the studio control room saying, here's Deborah Medina. Here's Phil Berg of the birthers. These people are dangerous. And I heard him say, the birthers are the most dangerous. See, he gets your confidence and then stabs you in the back. That's what Fox News is designed to do. All right. I got got to start going through the evidence now. It's just I'm trying to give you a small picture of all the info I have and how I collate it, knowing how the globalists operate, knowing what their past programs are, knowing their modus operandi. They are criminals. And if you study criminal psychology, these are genius criminals. They repeat the same things in different variants over and over again. They're very pathological, very obsessive compulsive.